Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host. Let's get into this. So, this is my second go at this recording. No alien talk, no periodic table talk. However, we do have a download from the creator. This download actually came through about a week ago. Yeah, about around a week ago. And I sat with it for a minute because I was really trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing with this information, right? Now, we had the conversation about spirits going to be, it was a few weeks ago, it wasn't that long ago. I want to say earlier this year, we had a discussion about how spirits are going to be jumping out of people's mouths, out of their portals into us, right? So face masks and face coverings are going to be key for spiritual warfare, not just diseases, right? Of course, there's going to be other things flying around in the air, but we are going to be very soon using barriers for all of our portals, the ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. These are entryways, right? These are portals on our bodies. So anything foreign can get in without our knowledge, but if you have the spiritual discernment and if you have certain gifts from the Creator, then you would be able to see exactly where some of this is headed. Now, smoking and drinking with people. This was alerted. I guess I don't even know what to say, what word to use. I was informed basically that this is going to be one of the main ways a lot of different warfare takes place. Smoking and drinking, especially with people. Now, there's different levels, right? As we know, or as we just said, there are spirits that can jump out of people onto you. These spirits are roaming and doing whatever they want. Your awareness and consciousness in the matter makes all of the difference, okay? If you have the ability to see into the spirit and you use your gifts for bad, you can take this spirit and put it on a person. So let's just say a person is fully aware of their ability to transfer a spirit, right? And they may have even had practice doing it. While the two of you are engaging in this kickback, whatever, smoking, drinking, you can take a spirit from this person. Of course, this can happen being sober, right? But we are more open to impression when we are under the influence, as we are also more impressionable when we are under the influence of anything. No matter how much on your square you may think you are, right? There's always that little window for something to occur. That is a portal. That is the space for certain spirits to creep in and get active. It's a threshold, and it can be more than one spirit. And I'll give you an example. You ever seen a person who smoke, or drink, and then you also share that habit with them, and then all of a sudden they just stop, and your desire for that thing increases? That's a telltale sign, right? Now, I don't need to remind you or tell you that it's toxic to even have something like alcohol and drugs at the, forefront or at the center of a relationship, any relationship, right? And this doesn't mean that the Creator is not at the center of set relationships. Of course, if someone is deliberately putting a spirit on you, that's, something else. But if this is something that the Creator wants the two of you to heal, if this is a spirit, then He will give each of you the notion and the motivation and the ability, the wherewithal, to make sure that the spirit is subdued together, right? And you both will be on the same page sometimes without even having to discuss it, because it's something that the Creator has set in both of you guys' path, or 3 of you, or 4 of you, whatever, right? This can be applied to any kind of spirit, but mainly smoking and drinking, because it's even more low vibrational than being greedy, than like a gluttonous spirit. It's more low vibrational than certain spirits that are attached, to the physical world. Of course, fear, hate, and all that stuff, it's not attached to the physical. I'm speaking of the spirits that can manifest physically through objects and interactions and behaviors. And definitely smoking and drinking is one. We always see people get drunk and act an ass, right? The overall premise of this conversation was, yes, stop smoking and drinking with people. Of course, stop doing it for yourself, but definitely smoking and drinking after people. It's not going to be like with, how COVID was, even though it is going to be something like that. It's going to be a little bit, I'm not going to say worse, but just one of those things, like, first of all, because we already experienced this face covering thing and spirit jumping thing with COVID, it's going to be similar. The energy is going to be a little more heavier, and that's only because we are more aware. We're going into a higher vibration, so we're going to be a little bit more aware of our surroundings, and things are going to kind of be like in 3D almost, like in sound and sight and spirit, and just knowing. Hopefully you are using your gifts for good. I don't think the people who are using their gifts for bad are going to be surviving in this type of frequency anyway. But yeah, smoking and drinking with people, this is one of those things where you have to really step back and really look at it from multiple, perspectives, and really place yourself in each position. Of course, there are people who socially smoke and drink and, whatever. That within itself is an opportunity for lower vibrational shit to manifest itself in some really wicked ways, right? So your understanding, first of all, we know your consciousness, your awareness, again, can make all of the difference. But if you are not even applying the knowledge, or if you are not allowing yourself to see things for what they are, then this is another way for attack to just, come. And I can't tell you how to guard yourself. I can tell you how I guard myself. God is always loving on me, always protecting me, always guiding me, always leading me, right? So I have this understanding already that as long as I am of the light, right? No matter how much my human ways may interfere with certain things, my spirit, right? Because that's what this is about. We're talking about spiritual warfare. As long as my spirit is high vibrational, as long as I am keeping my mind in tune with the Creator, there's a lot of different things that just can't even happen simply because of your vibration. They can't make its way to you physically. Of course, things that happen, it's the Creator allowing it to happen. There's a lesson there for you in it somewhere. That's why it happened. That's why He allowed it to happen. So all of this, and I want to make sure, because I can't stress, we're all connected in some kind of way, right? Not just in this dimension. We've talked about that. in other timelines, in other dimensions, we all coexist elsewhere. So you want to first make sure that, shit, is this my enemy from Pluto? I'm sitting here smoking and drinking with this person, but this might be my damn enemy from Mars. This might be my enemy from Venus. Right? Are you aware of the spirits that are attached to people, first of all? Right? Because this is going to be one of the main ways that you allow yourself to distinguish what type of energies you are even going to allow yourself to be susceptible to. Again, smoking and drinking at the center of any relationship is toxic within itself. So if you find yourself getting around a person and the only thing you do when you get around them, or the first thing you do when you get around them, right, is consume alcohol and drugs, that's another sign that it's a low vibrational situation and something can ensue, right? And again, this doesn't mean that the creator cannot be at the center or is not. You'll know if a person is sent by God to help you heal. You'll know that, no matter how much warfare may be going on, whether the situation is good or bad. But the gist of this conversation is to make sure we are on point, because let me explain something. If you are smoking and drinking with the person and then they just attack you out of nowhere, or you're doing drugs with them, that is a spirit that's already been around them. Or something happens, car accident, something coming up missing, people just start arguing and fighting, the energy is off, you don't feel right, you feel uncomfortable, you losing stuff. These are signs that there are spirits. And even if, right, and again, you can go through warfare sober, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the drinking and the alcohol, the smoking and the alcohol and the drugs, it increases the likelihood of something happening, because portals open up in us when we are consumed. Our sensors, our actual nervous system becomes more sensitive to our environment. Literally, it's science. You can look it up. We become more open. Everything about us opens up. Not that your defense is down, but a little things can be probably penetrated while you're under the influence, as opposed to being sober. It's levels to this. And before we go, I just want to make sure we have this understanding that none of us are exempt. I have been going through the most wicked warfare for the past few years. And I knew who it was coming from, because the Creator told me. Sometimes I knew what to do, sometimes I didn't. But I know when I started my healing journey, I was not smoking and drinking with nobody. I was not doing no drugs or nothing around nobody. If I did anything, I was by myself. Because the Creator isolated me already, and I knew that I was being led to do certain things anyway. So, you have to be aware of the things that you are walking with and how they may be interacting with the people that you're around in their unseen world. Remember, this is spiritual warfare. A lot of this stuff going on, we can't see, we don't know. There's a whole war going on in a whole different dimension. And of course, there's love going on also. But we have to activate that. We have to make sure that the love is constantly being transferred and the vibration is at a certain frequency. We have to be actively pursuing that peace, right? But when you are interacting with people, you have to make sure that whatever war they have going on is not attached to your war. You have to make sure that the two don't collide. But I'm going to end here. I hope all is well. I hope y'all have been drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea. because it's free. Love y'all. All right. Peace.